redo this video because yesterday the audio on it was just something to be desired, and I think this is going to be a good video. It's going to get people going, thinking about the Vanhalen, Sammy, Hagar, Roth reunion. Roth, Sam, Hagar, Dave, whatever's going to be the catch term. And I'm going to try to get that catch term first, but the big question is, would Sammy and Dave be able to work together? Leave it in the comments if you think those two could give it another try and make it happen. I don't know. I think they can. I think the money at this point that has snowballed that would be on the line is just an amazing amount of money. And I think every star loves the spotlight and loves the glory. And when I first heard Van Halen, I heard eruption coming through the window of this Malibu that was coming into the lunch parking lot when I like 1983. And I said, you know what, I'm going to skip lunch today and I'm going to go get this record. However much the record was, I think it was 2 days worth of lunch or whatever. I didn't have a whole lot of money. And I went and got the record and took it home, and even the cover and everything just looked odd to me. It's like, hey, this looks interesting. I looked through all the songs and I saw Eruption on there. I was like, wow, that's an interesting title. So I go home and my brother and his girlfriend are sitting there, and I must have played that record 3 or 4 times all the way through and played Eruption 9 or 10 times because I was just getting into guitar. And I was like, how am I going to take this really broken down guitar that I've got and this amp and sound like that? So I got really heavy into Eddie Van Halen and trying to get the tabs in the songs, and I was the uber fan. So I would even collect pictures of Eddie and yada yada yada. But when Hagar came along, I was a Hagar fan because I felt like he brought more of a tight feel to the music. And man, the hits just started coming. And music had also changed. But I saw Hagar in 1991 with Van Halen. Amazing show. I got right up front where Eddie was, which at the last concert I went to in 2007, I didn't get to do that. So my question is for the day is, what would the set list be? Who would open? Who would close the show? And how would these two guys get along? So if you have an idea for what the set list would be, what the show would be called, leave it in the comments below. Like and subscribe this video. Leave me some interesting Van Halen stories. And let's get this thing going. Let's get the band thinking, hey, the fans really want to see these two guys back out on the road. And my question is, can they get along? The show I saw with David Lee Roth in 2007 was all that Bosley Bop stuff he does, where he's moving on that dance floor or whatever in the front, and he just didn't seem like he could carry the songs, even though his tone was really good and he still had a little bit of falsetto left. There's no way he could do the screams and running with the devil or Ain't Talking About Love. Hagar, on the other hand, on a good day, you never know. If you think Hagar can carry the show, leave them in the comments below. So like and subscribe this video and let me know your thoughts. I think these two could get back out on the road together, and I think Eddie would probably have them. I mean, there's just so much here for them to kind of do their grand goodbye before they lose somebody in the band. And I think Wolfie can play just about any genre and play it well, even though they'd probably have to bring Michael Anthony back because he was the original bassist and he did a great job. I'm a huge Michael Anthony fan, especially with his falsetto. His bass playing's amazing. And I think he's just a good guy all the way around. I think he's just one of those guys that's kind of quiet and maybe has an opinion but doesn't always voice it, maybe thinks things through a little more. So when you've got David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen and Alec and all these people in this band, and maybe they probably wouldn't switch up bass players, probably would keep Michael Anthony, but I probably wouldn't go see David Lee Roth again, just David Lee Roth, but I would definitely go see Sammy again. And I've seen Roth twice. I saw him on his solo tour in Lampe, Missouri, and then I saw him at 2007 with Van Halen, and I would love to have seen him in the 80s. That would have been the time to go see David Lee Roth in his prime, doing all those split kicks and all that stuff. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks.